Wukong lock-in here. Not going to be really happening, I don't think, pre-6 to set up a dive. I mean, it's not impossible depending on the lane state, but it's going to be a lot trickier than a lot of other junglers could help you do. One of the two would go this week out of the 10 series. I'm thinking this one isn't going to be it so far, in my professional opinion.
All right, I appreciate that. I needed a professional opinion because I wasn't quite sure myself. Kingan's moving back towards the top side. Looks like the Dragon is going to be successfully secured here by the DN Freecs. They are going to be able to grab that one. Next one going to be an Infernal. So the really cool soul percentage chance is another feat of strength, which means that we're getting closer and closer to having feet, which is
and a fight. Here comes Kingan.
All right, Bulldog making his way over on a flank angle. That is an immediate cleanse from Berserker, but now he's got even more issues. He does try and get himself out of the way, but that is first blood going over to the Ziggs. The Cyclone's doing a whole bunch of work, though, as the Akali's on the board. Lahen's with that level 6, but into the backline goes Dudu. Lahen's still keeping himself alive, but can Dudu say the same thing? The answer is yes. He was bailed out, didn't even need it, as Gideon's going to bite the dust. And Bulldog sitting on 2-0 to start this one off.
Really huge play here for Bulldog. Picks up a ton of money.
And ult and press every button that he has. And he just teleported down there. Oh dear, Dudu is going to suffer the same fate, but he's going to die. That is a solo kill for Kingan. Many times before you get to shred a little bit, and so you can try and get rid of her a little bit earlier on, but I think Gideon's probably still fine with how this one's going, especially with the CS situation, as now Kingan could be in trouble. The Dudu's revenge is swift, and it is dangerous. Another Nimbus Strike does come in, and Dudu's dashing around will be able to pick up that kill. So it takes them a little bit of time, but they do manage to grab that kill in the end.
Yeah, and there's no cross map available. The fact that Bulldog is as ahead as he is means he just completely controls Fisher.
Feels good.
I'll try to slide it in when I can.
Yeah. It's a great one. Absolutely. All right, Bulldog on a bit of a flank angle. Pyosik gets into the pit. Let's see whether he can steal this one away. He's done these before, but Gideon is going to be able to lock it down. But now, the perfect execution. Let's see whether it's going to work. He's straight into prison, though. Not exactly optimal, as it's going to be a Cloud Soul. Oh, baby. The excitement coming through from every angle. Fish in the middle. Berserker going to come on over, though, and not exactly even this one out. There is also an Ambassador up there, so it looks like it is going to be that feat of strength being picked up by DNF. So that's one apiece. Only a turret remains between these two squads, and I'm seeing a Ziggs. Oh yeah. This is really dangerous. Pyosik needs to get this down.
It's close. I think
no, it's done. Yeah, Kingan is going to be able to take it. The power of Jace will grab that first turret blood, and I think that's a blunder here for DNF. I mean, they had the Herald.
Yeah, they had the Herald so early. At least they're going to be able to get some damage on this inner, but that's feats of strength. Over to Nongshim. Great reaction from Kingan.
And all of these minefields are real dangerous. As the ulti not necessarily working, Dudu dashing around this fight. They've got him right where they want him. Kingan going to be going down first as Bulldog diving forward. Land's going to get knocked up. In fact, there's a triple hostile takeover from life onto everyone. Fisher trying to keep them into position, but now it's Dudu looking to try and tidy this one up, and I think he's got the dashes to do it.
And enough control over the top side where they actually can take the Dragon, then regroup here. Nongshim just won't be able to take this fast enough at this stage of the game, so they do their due diligence, check it out, set up vision, then take the Dragon, and will now rotate back over.
Yeah, Jude is trying to get a little bit of space here with this mid lane as the ulti does come through. Bulldog looking to make his way up as life could be in trouble, but instead they turn their attention towards the Akali, who going to be able to flash out of the way, and oh no, there's the Mega Inferno Bomb, and it grabs two with the help of Kingan's Shock Blast. It looked like he'd almost made the great escape, but instead, he was dead. That is going to be Otacon taken here for Nongshim as well. They got some feats of strength in their back pocket. Looked like they were on their heels in this game. That is going to be a large amount of value that they'll be able to pick up, although they're not going to have their mid-outer turret.
No, certainly not. I mean, that's the consolation prize here for DNF after this exchange, but picking up Otacon is going to feel nice. It's not a composition that necessarily utilizes the withdraw as well as some of the other comps, but
onto the Yone, as there's a Shuriken backflip. I think he's going to have to take a bit of a recall here, and there he goes. So they get rid of one of them.
Yeah, he does have teleport. See if he wants to just head to the top lane, or if he just
40 gold and a blood petal in exchange for an outer turret. Well,
yeah.
Not great.
That's the trade deal meme.
Oh wait, two turrets actually.
Yeah. I receive. It's This deal keeps getting worse all the time. Lando
Lando Calrissian's got something to say about that, man.
Oh, well, this is actually maybe 3 turrets, Atlas.
Well, there's the Glacial Prison going wide. Let's see whether Life can actually find an angle here. He just gets knocked up immediately, but he's pretty tanky. Okay, they're sending him all home. And it looks like Gideon wants to go home as well. It's like, damn, I'm so tanked. But yeah, they're all just going to go for a bit of a re-
4 turrets, Atlas!
Yeah. So they throw themselves all at an inhibitor turret and successfully not die, but die.
Yeah.
It's beautifully done.
TP to the mid lane.
Ooh, Lahen's going to get the flash out of Berserker. Has to invest his own, as now Fisher looking for a bit of an angle. Look, Yoshik, he's going to come down. Life not going to quite find it because Fisher's able to flash his way out of there. As Dudu also dancing around this fight. That hostile takeover was not the one that Life was looking for, and Yoshik cannot find the reset on the bailout, and so he's going to hit the deck as well. Situation that we are seeing here.
I mean, the tier 3 boots have been done for Ju for a while. He actually had top damage on the Rift, was shown just a moment ago.
Yeah.
The Ziggs was a bit of a slow starter compared to a lot of the time what we've seen from Ziggs in the LCK, where he gets a ton of plates and or turrets early and is set up that way. A lot of scenarios where it's really uncomfortable for this Kalista.
Oh, ulti going to come through here from Fisher really nicely, picking out Bulldog here, even though he's in his shroud, as that was a weird flash, but it actually worked. The shuriken backflip, keeping him alive for so long, but there are a lot of bad guys in that area. And it is going to be Ju that's able to lock down that kill in the end. Really needs like an extra couple of Teemos on that Q to start hitting a few more of them. And now Berserker taking matters into his own hands. I don't know about this one. However, he is able to flash his way out. The bailout's going to come on through. Does he have the Rens available? He does not. Plans gets a 3-man knockup with that Pulverize. It's gorgeous.
The kind of issue I was talking about, you got to close the gap somehow. He knows he has bailout, and I think that was the closest to a successful fight he was ever going to get. He was like, I'm taking this game into my hands, and it almost was able to set them up a pick, right? It was fairly close.
Yeah.
But you can just see the problems of the composition in that moment, encapsulated in his attempt there to kind of just kamikaze his way through, but he is unsuccessful, and that's a Baron
available as well. But it is a bear inhibitor in the mid lane. So Nongshim can get 2 right here as Berserker taking so much damage. There's the Glacial Prison. Knockups are coming through, though the hostile takeover is so good, and Berserker keeps himself alive. They take down the turret. Is now Dudu getting into the backline. He flashes on top of Ju. That is so much money, and Dudu may have just saved it for the DN Freecs. Kingen going to be going down. He cannot stand against 5 of them. Although it does look like he's posturing aggressively. You can kind of feel it, the bouncing bomb. Doing a little bit here is Kingen. Also off to the side, really wanting to create a fish in a barrel scenario. Man, how did no one get hit by that?
Yeah,
kind of
that's so
crazy.
weird.
Is Berserker going in again? All right, Kingen could be in trouble. Mega Inferno Bomb not really doing too much as they take down the Jace. Dudu just trying to keep himself alive. Bulldog diving into the backline as well. The flash on top of the Ziggs, and the main man is down. It's now Fisher that's in trouble as he has created enough space. The knockups are good from Lahen's, but they've lost all the damage. And Berserker's still on full health. This guy's a madman. As Bulldog getting on in there, he should be able to take down Fisher here, finding the 5-point strikes. And unfortunately, that Soul has to rebind. He even goes golden to get the style points. Berserker's going to grab himself a Cloud Soul, and this game is back around again.
Yeah, now there's no wave set up here for them to just rush down and start pushing to end the game or even to threaten an inhibitor just yet. 50 seconds on Fisher, though, means that they will be definitely looking for that as soon as they grab this Baron. They grab Cloud Soul. We talked about how important that is with the movement speed. He has no fear. He knows how Kalista works, and when he's got a Renata attached to him and he's got this many items, he just can do almost no wrong.
Yeah,
and that's Baron.
It's so beautifully done because there was no counterplay to that.
This Elder fight, okay, maybe there's a chance here now in the bottom lane, but the team is not set up for this.
Yeah, still 1.5 minutes as the ulti comes through from Fisher, but he's not able to lock onto Berserker here.
I don't know.
Gets out of the way.
I don't know if they're going to get it. I mean, they're going to get this mid turret at least. That's gold, but more than gold, they need super minions here, I feel. It's not impossible to win if they don't get one, but...
On the map. All right, there's the flash. Cyclone right on top of Jiwoo. He's going to have to flash to get himself out of there. Now Gideon all on his lonesome, but he's real tanky. Going to be able to survive at least for now. 2k damage here for Berserker to start this one off, and they've started the Elder.
You having blue buff here from that global blue is actually super huge for him as well.
Look at this flank from Bulldog. This is real scary. They've turned on him immediately. He can go into the Shroud, but he's almost just dead. But into the back line goes Dudu. He's headbutted out of there, but everyone is just piling on top. The hostile takeover doesn't do enough, but it does something. And DNF are just going to be flashing after them. Kingen looking to go down. And we thought that this was in the bag for Nongshim, and DNF said, "No, hold my bailout. We're going to kill you all."
Everything put into Jiwoo there. And it looked like maybe he was going to be punishing Bulldog, but he steps one step too far forward. He's the one who goes down, and Berserker says, "I've lost interest in killing the enemy champions. I'm killing the Elder."
Yep, and Dudu is just, going to be trying to take them down in their base, and that is going to be successful. First inhibitor going to go down, the inhibitor turret, and the Nexus turret's going to be following. This dragon is angry, and it's hungry, and it's not going to be eating boar for dinner tonight. Instead, it's going to have to settle for a Nexus and a couple of turrets. DNF, man, what a slobber knocker of a game.
And I love that DN Freecs didn't opt into going for, I mean, they could have gone for the Leona, which would have been great into the Rakan also.
Be able to take the first grub, so no feats of strength are going to be taken down here. And he can just flash out of the way if he'd like to. Instead, he decides to just go in. And that seems like a good idea because Fisher is in a whole host of trouble. Bulldog going to be able to throw down the command dissonance and picks up the kill with a command attack. They take down the Nocturne in the end as Gideon has to flash to get himself out of the way. And Jiwoo's made his way in. 3 versus 3 now, but the ulti comes through from Dudu, gets the flash out from Jiwoo there as well. And man, it is chaos, but it's working out for DNF.
Yeah, in terms of flashes, feels like a trade up here for DNF. Well, Berserker is pushed in. Looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. So while it may have been an opportunity for Bulldog to try to push further advantages, it's ultimately going to be the first objective, full objective, that is to say, going over to Nongshim, so they'll have 1/3 of a feat of strength off of this attempted play in the mid lane. But otherwise, it's still a very quiet game with not a lot of action. It was like very short amount of action, but no death, and then it was just back to taking objectives and chilling.
It gets unleashed, and then it can just be teleported from that point on.
Sure.
As Nongshim, they've started off these grubs. Life getting some information there because they did just kill the control ward that he had put down. They can be there at a moment's notice. The Paranoia back off cooldown once again. I think that Pyosik is looking for an opportunity here, but it is Nongshim being able to lock down at least one of them. Life goes in. There's the Paranoia. They do get the flash out from Fisher. Gravity Field not really doing too much as Bulldog has to flash himself out of the way. The ulti from Gideon gets him in there, and Bulldog nowhere to run and will be taken down. Pyosik the same fate, and this is one of the issues with this drop. If the wombo doesn't work, you got nothing left.
Really help zone, and then you can actually win both sides of the fight while one of the carries gets pushed out, but this is going to be a plate going over to Fisher on top of 3 grubs going over.
Ulti, but still going to be going aggressive here. That was weird. Didn't know that's how the interaction worked. As Nongshim going to try and steal away a Brambleback. You can see Bulldog going to get pulled over. Life is here as well, but Berserker, he can Killer Instinct in. Lehens finds the angle there as Life gets the Magnet Storm over the wall with the Acathian Rain, and Berserker's able to lock down the kill onto the Victor. You can see now, wants to find the opportunity and gets in there. The Feather Storm comes down though. Does he have the Feather Pull? The answer's no. As Berserker looking to try and dash his way out with that Supercharge, but the Audacious Charge is going to be better, and it's a double kill for Gideon. He's now even further ahead in this game as Nongshim not going quietly into tonight.
Blood in the water. That's just the type of player he is. But if, in this case, if he had a little bit more restraint, it probably would have turned out better for them.
Yeah, I could imagine. But this is, so far, not necessarily been the Wombo combo dream. It looks like Nongshim will be able to collect themselves another one. That is a 4th as far as these objectives are concerned. It's not Earth, Wind, and Fire, so that's a little bit of a shame. And the Rift Herald does go down. That'll be secured here by Gideon. He can put that down wherever he likes. Sundered Sky almost has Black Cleaver completed as well as OK Paranoia comes in. They're going to get the combo, but can they get the kill? That's the question. And the answer is yes, they absolutely can.
Well, it turns out they can only kill Fisher this game, but they've done it 3 times, so it's starting to stack up.
Yeah, it's working. Well,
yeah, it's not a Sejuani, you know.
Yeah. I think you'd prefer something like a Viego to get super fed, because like it feels like a legitimate carry threat, but Xin Zhao, I think, can still really get some carrying done.
Yeah, like, you know, you could utilize that gold to just drop a Herald into a turret.
And that gives you a feat of strength. So there you go, gets another charge there as well.
Charge as well, so feeling really good about that. It's okay.
Oh, I've seen this movie before! This time it's going to be a slightly different version. This one is a little bit colder, and Aurora's going to be able to grab that kill. So
what, the weird face thing?
Yeah. Doesn't it look a bit like Volibear if you like squint your eyes?
Well, you know, I was waiting to use this for like a low state, and I guess we're kind of in one.
Yeah. After is it Warhammer?
No, he's Protoss, man. He's Zeratul cousin.
Who is Zeratul cousin?
Apparently Victor, man. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's just Victor. Okay, never mind.
Like, seriously, all I can see is a Protoss when I see him every time.
Okay, so what we just need the voice actor to do, like, my life for hire, and then, like, it'd be so good, right?
I think it's the crossover we've all been missing.
Yeah. We really need to, like, dig into the meme. It has to happen.
Focused.
Yeah,
He said that I should have watched it because it should have been my prep for the season. That's true.
Yeah, she's a bit upset.
I'm in trouble. Why'd you have to
I
ask me on TV?
I watched it, don't worry. Don't worry. Being delivered, and Lahens is on a flank angle.
But it's so far away for Bulldog.
Oh, Berserker is going to get caught out. They all just dive on top of him. There's the ulti and the flash out, though, and the Chaos Storm comes down. And the three-man shockwave is gorgeous. Once again, Fisher is dead, and this time Dudu is on the perfect flank angle. Oh, Atakan, that guy, he really does kill some teams. And it's going to happen once again as DNF, they'll be able to take him down.
I thought initially it was Bulldog's teleport on the flank there, but it was actually Dudu's. And he's able to, after the Pyoshik Bulldog combo there, the Nocturne Orianna setup. Game state here for Nongshim is just simply, like, we talked about how all the money's on Jin Zhao, but also the main big damage dealer, the safe damage dealer in the Victor, is just so far behind.
Yeah, it's not feeling too safe as they catch him once again. Down he goes. And remember, they get a free ticket home. That's precisely what they want. Life's gonna dive back in, gets the Magnus. Oh my god, the damage is revolting. Dudu's under about 7 turrets, and he's just going to take the easy way out. They take 2 with them. They do no damage to the turret, but they have a great time.
Adaptive damage and a little bit of experience points.
There you go.
I guess it's worth it, Atlas.
I'm looking at the money at the top of the screen, though, and I'm thinking, nah, probably not. And we're going to see it again. Oh, God, this time it's the Xayah that's taken out. Jiwoo didn't really know what was going on. The lights were off, and then his lights were out.
Grab 2 balance. Cross is underpowered.
It all goes back to that. All right, Pyoshik taking so much damage from this Baron, as we can see. Dudu going to have to help out with that one, I think, as now Kingin could be in trouble. He eats a whole bunch of the CC, but Fisher, he eats a slowy wall, and he doesn't really want to. The Chaos Storm doing a lot of work here, but the Magnus Storm is going to do the same thing. Maybe an overstep, though, as he's taken out. Berserker getting into that back line. Gideon might be going down again, and yes, he does. There's no damage to take him out, and it's 2 going into the hands of the Kaiser, and now Kingin is surrounded by DNF boys. Jiwoo trying to make his way back, and he does manage to get a few of these. The Feather Storm comes through, but Dudu, oh, the Feather Pull is gorgeous.
Oh, then Bulldog also flashes, but doesn't get the kill.
Pyoshik has the ultimate, and Jiwoo doesn't have his, and he's dead.
Oh, but the feathers!
Yeah, the feathers taken out. Okay, so Pyoshik solo the Baron, and it's worth it, my guy.
There's like a dragon, so I don't know if we will, but anyway, I'll have to go watch it on YouTube later. Because he flashes and then doesn't get the okay.
Yeah, sorry, we have to come out of it. A little bit of a shame is Fisher. Do we need to see? I mean, he's probably dead again. Okay, Gravity Field goes down.
That dragon is dead.
Yeah, dragon is definitely dead, and it's going to be DNF that deny the soul. And so once again, we are going to remain without an Ocean Soul. The Rift Scuttler is going to be taken.
They have no vision.
There's a scary flank ward here. As you can see, the Baron down to 50%. It's going down so incredibly fast.
Might just be gone.
Yeah, the teleport is a little late, you could say. As now Pyoshik, yeah, no opportunity. Still hasn't even pressed the ultimate button. Flash.
Yeah, like every time I die, I like ping the Nocturne Orianna ult. Everyone's like, yeah, we saw you die, it's fine.
4 items versus 4 items, but it does feel like Jiwoo is going to be able to sort of stand and deliver, utilizing that GA quite comfortably.
It feels like he shouldn't have been able to get to this point, but he was gifted a few kills.
He's a lot here from
Dudu on a really fantastic flank as well to set up a big ult.
Yeah, this is such an important moment here for DNF. Can they make the combo actually work? As there's the paranoia. Pyoshik not going to be able to take the dragon as now Lahens trying to keep them all alive. The Featherstorm has already gone down, and Dudu just wreaking havoc in that backline. Berserker trying to do the same thing. As down to the GA goes Jiwoo. But this fight is so broken up. It's now Berserker against the world. Can he get it done? Gideon says, no, you cannot. As he flashes on top of him. Not going to be able to do it. That's a double kill, and Fisher is on the board.
Some time. Jiwoo did the heavy lifting. He had the GA. They had everything they needed for this one fight for Ocean Soul. that's where the real tipping point comes through, I suppose. That last big fight earlier on, too, was a huge win for them to grab Baron. And I guess they do it, Atlas. I didn't see it coming.
Well, Life is going to try and stop them. And it's not quite going to work out here. Dudu not going to be able to do enough either. And with the Ocean Soul helping, they're going to be able to take down the Nexus. Nongshim will even out the series. We're going to go to all 6. And the decider is going to be coming up. It's feast or famine here on the side of Nongshim. And the DN Freecs, they have the insurance policy.
Sometimes we just have to stay too meta. Lehens?
Yeah, going to come on over and look to punch Pioshik here. He punched it. There you go. Spear is going to connect there as well. Pioshik going to flash, gets out his shield. The flash forward from Gideon. That's first blood. As Bulldog, if he gets a kill here, it could actually be really dangerous despite first blood going on over. But no, he pounces over the wall and he gets himself out of there. The flap comes in. Oh, the flash forward! And Bulldog collects it. Is it worth it? We'll have to find out in future. See whether that flash can be punished. Like, you can lead some objectives into a Herald and then get first turret, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that is sort of like the way that it kind of works. And so first blood is not entirely necessary as far as that is concerned, but it looks like they are going to be able to grab their first objective of the game as well. So Nongshim looking to really accelerate that one as Berserker takes the turret shot, putting a lot of pressure on the Jew here as we can see.
Yoshik's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Good old surprise party Ivern.
Well, he's getting zoned.
With a Gromp instead.
Heading towards a mid-game that he's going to feel very confident with.
Yeah, I would agree. And you can see that DNF are going to be able to move forward and look for this one as, okay, Lehen's going to get caught out, knocked up by the kitchen sink, but the Braum just explodes. Okay, trade of supports, but where did Life go?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's really gone.
But, I mean, this is a trade-up for DNF because they got Berserker the kill.
Oh, no. Fricassee going to connect onto Gideon. Daisy getting mad and going to chase that cat into the brush. Looks like Gideon's going to have to get out of there as, oh, no. My money's on Daisy for this one. The explosion of that shield. The flash has to be invested. Not even able to pounce over that wall. As, all right, Pioshik is kind of in no man's land. Spear is going to connect somehow. One more arcade shift going to come on through, but Kingan, he finds the flank angle. The slowest flap of your life there for Bulldog ain't gonna save him. And the Lumberjack to the rescue will mean objective number 2 here for Nongshim.
That's right. DNF didn't get any of these grubs, so it's going to be 6 grubs for Nongshim, so denying all of the grubs from the Jacks as well as getting that second objective for Feats of Strength that you mentioned. Now they just need to get this Dragon bottom side, and they get Feats of Strength. So this is a huge turnaround here. It looked great for DNF, but chasing a bit too deep, pretty much.
2 and 0. Going to be building up a whole bunch of tanky items. And Gideon looking to steal stuff away. Dudu is going to find him, though, as the Blast Cone will get Gideon to the wrong direction. Pioshik will turn up. Lehen's trying to offer something as well as the arrow connects! And that is the kill onto the Nidalee. Daisy comes out now. We're getting serious here as she punches Jiwoo one time and then backs away. But earlier, so Fisher going to be able to make sure that he gets out scot-free. And after the game that he had previously on the Victor, you cannot really blame him as, oh no, Jiwoo, that was not the arcane shift you were looking for. Concussive blows comes down, the ulti's perfect. Sometimes life comes at you fast, my friend. And Jiwoo is going to suffer the brunt of it as Spears coming on in. Gideon going to have to get out of there. Kingan might be able to get first turret, which is going to mean feats of strength galore here for Nongshim as the rocket, the rocket, what is it called? It's the hook.
Yeah, rocket grab, right?
Rocket grab. Why did I not remember what grab was? My brain only has room for so many things, apparently, and the Ivern is going to be able to take down the Cloud Drake. Cloud Drake's still in there, as it turns out.
In a few moments' time here.
Well,
maybe a pick here.
Yeah, Lehen's. Does he get the hook? No, he doesn't, but man, he gets a flash. And now the follow-up is in. Pioshik's the one that flashes this time, but unfortunately, Bulldog didn't come with an extra charge. And so that is the turret going down at the same time. Dudu's going to try and trade.
But I don't think he needs them to take this turret out. He has teleport. And Nongshim are going to try to take this Herald.
Yeah, so the Herald will be secured. Dudu's going to split push to his heart's content, though. It's actually kind of big. The fact that Dudu can actually be useful in a side lane really be helping out, because if Nongshim are forced to group up to make their composition work, and then it can be a problem. Is all right, Life just going to tank it up. Don't hook Braum. He's got a big door. He doesn't care. Dudu finds the flank angle, and they're going to lock down the Scion, who takes a lot of killing. In fact, maybe too much killing. And finally, he does go down. Berserker with that Q activated, doing a lot of damage, as Jiwoo is able to keep himself safe. And the zombie is not going to do enough at all. And DNF come alive here at 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the thought process on this one from Nongshim, but looking for a pick, starting to feel the pressure. They had just taken the Herald. There's the Herald drop here.
It feels so against the play, doesn't it? With the Herald going down in favor of Nongshim, like, you'd expect them to have a bit more control. Instead, Lehens is running away. Gideon's just going to be left out to the Wolves. Or make that the Dragons. His mom comes down and eats him.
That's almost
now,
done.
Yeah, Kingen, what's he tanking for? Nobody else is sticking around, and he is just going to be left out as DNF. I think it looks to me like Nongshim have just kind of ran out of ergs.
Yeah.
They ran out of, what to do.
I mean, that's the Bulldog finishing his stacks as well.
Yeah, and we have to go back to the first game as well. Life looking real good. Life almost being able to steal a red buff is kind of hilarious, as Arakan is going to be secured here by DNF.
And let's give Berserker credit where it's due.
Oh, 100%.
His arrows have been so good this game.
And with how good Berserker was in the first game, would he get player of the match?
Right now, he's 100% my vote. I mean,
yeah, I would
agree. Crazy changes.
Both doing a lot of damage this game. Kind of amazing that a Smolder is topping the damage at 24 minutes. You feel like that should take a little while longer to come in, but that is just the game state.
Yeah.
As Berserker, he's got some volleys to keep them out of here. Lehens certainly does need to be respected somewhat for these hooks that can bring a priority target in, but as you can see here, Nongshim not pulling the trigger just yet, and it's DNF that are going to do so. Fisher immediately going to get McHale's, as Lehens at least gets that one done. I don't know about that one, Dudu, as Mum comes down, but Lehens still going to die. Mum does so much damage, and look at this with the Ivo, and this Jax is just immortal. Both of them going golden. Gideon going to get eaten by a dragon. You can see Bulldog going to be able to take him out. Dogs versus cats, I guess. It's going to be Bulldog that comes out on top, and this one is, okay, that's a fully charged Q.
He's going to just come back. He is going to come back right now, and, at this point, I think Bulldog's like, I would like some more.
Yeah, they know exactly where Jiwoo is, as Dudu comes on over. The door just eats the True Shot barrage. This Braum has been such an incredible pick. And they get in there. You can see Kingen trying to utilize that ultimate to lock them down, as Lehens not going to be stealing that one away. That's going to be the Baron secured by Pyoshik. Kingen is now a zombie, as Bulldog just trying to flap his way away, and will be able to do so. The spear not going to connect. Jiwoo able to offer back a lot of damage here, as Dudu does need to be a little bit careful, as the Achu just barely not able to get him, as, the arrow for the snipe. Doesn't quite get in there, but the damage has been done. The Baron has been secured, and Berserker's already utilizing it in the mid lane.
There's no smite, but we're still trying to be around this Smolder, and it's a bad time.
Well, Lehens is going to get a hook onto a Braum, and this time he's dead. Nicely done. So they managed to take down Life for 40 seconds.
Comeback games. I mean, Jiwoo was like, man, once I got online with Smolder, the game didn't end for like over an hour.
Not to mention the fact that Berserker can do things like this. Now that he has the big old shield, Life diving into so many people, but look at the value of the door. It is disgusting how much this does. As Lehens, that rocket punch not doing too much of anything, and now Dudu feeling immortal himself, as long as he has that gentleman tree around him. And he's going to go golden there, utilizing that. Zhonya's repaired his arm guard quite nicely, but the turret is getting angry, and finally he is going to go down. Bulldog's at full health though, and Nongshim, I think they're losing an inhibitor turret at least, because Berserker is just by himself in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. They don't even have grubs, but we're at the point of the game where these turrets just don't last long. Aun goes one inhibitor, and the second inhibitor turret will fall. I mean, I suppose there's a world where maybe they could defend this if Berserker was more vulnerable, but he's got flash.
Yeah, Life needs to really save him here, though, because there are a lot of people coming. That's 4. I think Life might be dead, and Berserker is also dead.
Okay.
3 hooks. So, double kill there for Jiwoo. It is going to be an inhibitor in trade for it.
They didn't get that inhibitor, in fact. It didn't survive.
There is.
You mean, like, there's definitely a way that, is it possible? Is Atlas onto something here? Like, anything is throwable.
Well, Life is going to show them the door, and he's going to get hooked in, and he's going to die.
Atlas?
I need to stop telling Life how valuable and cool he is, because
this composition doesn't have a strong tank. DNFs are they're so scared of starting Baron, somebody getting hooked and them getting like, you know, isolated corral.
Oh, Arrow gonna connect there onto Jiwoo, but he does get cleansed immediately. Now Dudu diving into that backline. Fisher in a bit of trouble. Dudu goes golden. Gideon now, he's going to get cleansed as well. Goes golden as well. And now Jiwoo's running out of buttons that he can press. Arcane Shift Flash, not enough as DNF close in. And with the jungle and AD carry both dead, Kingan's gonna try and hold onto the wave to keep this game alive. It's not gonna work out. Down he goes, and it's Bulldog that's gifted the prize of the kill money. That's completely unnecessary because they're about to take down the Nexus.
Okay, Fisher doing the Faker strat, and Valkyrie's his way to taking out that super minion, but another wave comes through here. Lehen's grab one of those minions away. Buy some time.
All right, Nexus turret number 1 gonna go down. Lehen's not gonna be doing anything. Fisher as well, grasping at straws to say the least. And that's a bare Nexus. That is going to be a game win for DNF. Able to keep things interesting as far as our groups as well.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.